regards to the climber, what we decided was that, where did the marker go? Uh-oh, I see one here. So, we decided that we want to do an elevator climb, mainly because we pre-ordered an elevator kit beforehand. So, we're just kind of going with the constraints that we have. But we've also seen previous challenges where teams have climbed with their elevators, so we think it's definitely doable. The only negative aspect is obviously like the spacing it's going to take. If you're going to climb and you haven't bought anything yet, we suggest that you buy a telescoping kit because it's less space and it basically serves the same purpose as what the elevator is going to do. So, less space, same function as elevator. So basically the plan is going to be, this drawing kind of shows it already, but I'll just go over it again. So say this is the drive base, and we have our over the bumper intake, and this grabs balls, the fuel I guess you could say, and it feeds into the indexer, yada yada, goes up into the shooter. This is the shooter. So say this is the shooter. What we decided is that the most optimal location for our elevator is.
Everybody else can also.
Yes. Wait, is this still connected?
Yeah.
Okay. Is which one am I? This one?
Good, yeah.
Hi guys. Okay, so going back to what I was saying, I'm not sure if you caught the earlier part of that, but basically, if this is over the bumper intake, this is the indexer, and it feeds directly into our shooter. What we determined was that the most ideal location for the elevator is to either be behind the shooter or slightly to the left. So either it's centered or slightly offsetted. The reason we say that it should be slightly offsetted is because we want to maximize our space as much as possible to allow A, space for wiring, right? But B, space for the fuel. Even though the fuel is 5.91 inches in diameter, it's still not that small. And we discovered that even an inch or two that we can gain by moving the elevator to the side can give you an advantage. So that is currently what we are prototyping right now and trying to look into with CAD and geometry. So to go further into the climb, I know I kind of went into an overview. Is everything looking good right now, or is chat happy?
We'll find out.
Okay, so just recap. Telescoping arm better than elevator, but if you have the elevator kit already, it's okay. You can use it. Second thing, elevator is either behind the shooter, centered, or slightly offsetted, depending on how geometry is going to work out after today. And now the third thing I'm going to go into is how the climb is going to work with the elevator. So, as we know, the max height that your robot can have is 30 inches this year, which is quite interesting. So say this is the drive base, and you have your elevator, and you don't want to be exactly at the 30 mark because also you're slightly like 2 to 3 inches off the ground with your drive base anyways. So it's not going to be exactly 30 inches, but you're going to have a 2-stage elevator. So you don't need a 3-stage. A 3-stage is to have a carriage, and maybe if you can think of a way to pick up the pieces from the indexer through the carriage, but that'd be more ideal for pick and place. So what we're thinking is this two-stage elevator. And if you look into games from 2022 and 2020, those are great examples of how people use elevators to climb. So on the outside, there's an active stage. The active stage is the preliminary stage that latches on to the bars. And that's how the robot gets on the bars itself. That passive stage is merely support, but it's to help you go to the other stages. So I'm not sure if you guys saw the earlier parts of our live stream, but we decided that we want to achieve an L3 climb. So we know that we need both of these stages, and therefore an elevator would still work, even though we would prefer a telescoping arm. So there's going to be 2 hooks on either side. So as the elevator is extending, first active stage latches on, pulls robot up, passive stage, goes up, goes to second latch, pulls robot up, and then we continue with active stage. So we're currently in the midst of like prototyping that, seeing which gripper is best. Though that's kind of second priority, we're trying to get our intake and indexer figured out right now. But then after that, we're going to be looking into this and obviously how it's going to support the robot because it may not. You have to be careful of the mass that it's going to hold. Not that your elevator is going to break, but we just kind of have to make sure that the center of the mass is balanced. So that's kind of what we have going on right now. Basically claws on elevators, and you remove this top bar, which allows you to go up and down. And yeah, so you remove this top bar. You might not have to remove this bar, but this is what the elevator is going to look like. You bought it from Thrifty Bot. If you have that, great, use it. If you don't, get a telescoping arm, because then you can just stick it on both sides of your indexer and shooter, and you can save a bunch of space and even intake more holes. So I hope that helped. I don't know who's watching, but yes.
Okay.